Hey guys, it's Nick, bringing you double the winning as a. What? Are you kidding me? A lever already? And look at that. Okay, so not only is our Alistar AFK, but our Katarina's AFK? What are the odds of that? Like, I. Okay, so when I was playing this game, I basically had thrown in the towel at that point. In case you guys didn't know, this is Dominion for League of Legends. It's the new game type they just came out with. It was kind of bugging me because I kept trying to get in on the beta whatever but it was always when I was asleep or B out of the house, and so I kept missing like the 2-3 hour time frames that they kept throwing it up, and that kind of sucked because I really wanted to get some gameplay up for you guys so you could see what I thought about it. Anyway, so this game is funny because I actually was going to do a live comm. So I was all geared up, and my Fraps was set to record my mic instead of the stereo mix of the game volume. So that's why, unfortunately, there's no game volume for this game. And because right off the bat it was a 3v5. But luckily, Katarina does come back in, and after having some trouble getting out of the spawn, it becomes a 4v5, which still is a losing game. But I really wanted to use this gameplay as a kind of way for me to discuss my thoughts on Dominion. So with Dominion, I think they said what's the word? They've been developing it for about a year now, and it's basically plays like if you guys have ever played Battlefield, the shooter, it's got like kind of that ticket system where instead of tickets, it's Nexus health, and ways to get down the Nexus health is by controlling more capture points or flags, whatever you want to call them, than your opponent. And then the more you have than they do, the quicker they'll go down. From what I've noticed, if you have more than they do, then it won't go down at all, which is a really good concept, because what that makes it is that no game is ever a guaranteed loss. Because, so let's say they have 100 points and you have 5. And you're like, well, shoot, but you have 2 flags and or 2 capture points, whatever, and they have 3. What that means is if you go and capture that 3rd capture point and then hold that, it's going to be a long game, but you can still actually turn the game around and still win, because if you capture that 3rd point, your flags won't go down, or your tickets won't go down. You'll still have 5 tickets, and they'll slowly but steadily go down. What this also means, though, is that you can't die, because another way to get down Nexus health is by getting kills. Every kill you get takes away 2 Nexus health, I'm pretty sure, and so that brings a lot of strategy into the game, because and kind of takes away some strategy, because some people, will be like, we'll use the excuse of, oh, well, I'm killing lots, so that means that I'm working the objective. Which, if you look at the scoreboard, like, and kind of do some comparisons, even if you get 20 kills in one game, which I'm not going to say is hard, but in such a short amount of time, you might not have that many opportunities. Like, it can definitely happen. Like, I'm not saying it's hard, but 20 kills, that's 2 tickets per kill. That's only 40 points down on their Nexus health out of 500. So in my opinion, holding, and not only that, but the kills don't like stop your tickets from going down. Or I keep calling it tickets. I know it's Nexus health, but it's just kind of easier to say tickets, so excuse me. I'll try and remember to say Nexus health, but I'll probably keep saying tickets. Anyway, so by getting those kills, you're also probably going to die a few times, which will lower your Nexus health, and so it turns out not to be the best strategy to use. Some cool things that they added in Dominion. One thing, they added a lot of new items. Upwards of, I think, maybe 10, 15 new items, maybe even 20. I haven't counted all of them, but a lot of them are replacements to other items that I think they considered slower items, or maybe like items that just didn't really work in this game type. And basically, they wanted to speed up gameplay a lot. Evidence of this is that they start you off at level 3. You get constant XP. They reduced healing regeneration, which I think is to just kind of make more, I guess people die more because they want that really heavy action, I guess Call of Duty style combat, where people are always killing and people are always dying and fights are always happening, and they really didn't want like kiting and junk like that. Junk. I know it's like a legitimate tactic, but you understand what I'm saying. So some items that they built or came up with that are kind of replacement items. And sorry for the video right here. My fraps just lagged terribly. My frames per second dropped really, really low. So just forgive it for a little bit. It should go back, I think. Yeah, now. Or maybe a little bit. Items that they replaced. Banshee's Veil, I know, turned into Odin's Veil. And instead of blocking a spell, which was incredibly good, they actually made it so you store 10% of magic damage, and then you can unleash it as like a active and do damage, which I don't think is that good. But 10% reduced magic damage is pretty good, and the 400 damage, it could do okay. And let's see, Sanguine's Blade, I think it's the item I've got on Xin Zhao right now, which let me just say is amazing on a Xin Zhao or a Teemo or let's see, Master Yi or Tristana. Basically anyone who's got a lot of attack speed, it's going to do amazing on. Reason I say that, and the Sanguine Blade is the replacement to the Bloodthirster. You can no longer get the Bloodthirster. And I think they did that because you can't really farm creeps anymore because the creep waves are so small, and the fact that if you die when you die, which you do quite a lot in this game type, or so I've experienced. Maybe you guys are MLG hacks or pro hotshot GGs and getting flawless gameplays every game. Well, I don't, and so struggling to get 40 stacks on a Bloodthirster without dying would be incredibly difficult. So instead, this Sanguine Blade comes in, and it's got 60 attack damage, and I'm not exactly positive on the lifesteal, but then it's got a passive on it that every time you attack, you gain 5 attack damage and 1% extra lifesteal onto the item, and that stacks up to 7 times, and it's for 4 seconds. So with someone like Xin Zhao, or Master Yi, or Teemo, or not Teemo, Tristana, who have a lot of attack speed, you are just going to dish out a lot of damage. Let's see some other items that they put in. Let's see that are replacements. There's this item called Entropy, which I could just be slaughtering the name, but basically it's this hammer. It's a mix of the Phage and the BF sword, I believe. And it keeps Phage's passive, or 30% chance to hit, to slow. And then it has an active, which for 5 seconds, it's a guaranteed slow, and it does 80 true damage over 2.5 seconds. And the item itself gives 70 attack damage and I think 400 health, maybe 225. I don't remember if it was 225 or 425. Anyway. Then they had a couple attack speed items in here. They replaced Madred's Blood Razor with basically a mini version of it that does 2.5% instead of 4%. Then they took out the Doran's Blades and put in Prospector items, which are about twice the price, give more health, and you can't stack the health from the Prospector's items because they're unique. So that means even if you get the Prospector's, I want to say ring or whatever, and the Prospector's blade or sword or whatever, you will only get health from one of them. And the sword or blade or whatever gives you 20 damage and I think 5% lifesteal. So it's a pretty solid item to get. You can get that in Boots of Speed, just Boots 1, and then you have like 75 gold left, which if you really wanted to, you get like a health pot or something, which I don't find too useful. I might have actually done it in this game, though. So I still don't know if, I guess, like, how cost-efficient these new Dominion items are. I know that they're all based basically to speed up gameplay. So, but some of them are just kind of weird. Like, there's one that's the replacement to Sword of the Divine, which every 4 shots, instead of doing 100 magic damage, you do 100 magic damage in a chain lightning, which would be really, really good if there were actual creep waves. Like, these creep waves are 1 big creep and then 2 caster creeps. And so, like the chain lightning, by the 4th strike, there's probably only going to be 1 or 2 minions left, like generally, toward the late game. So it doesn't do that great. And in this game, surprisingly, from what I've played, you don't really get into these really big 5v5 team fights. Generally, you'll get the most you'll do is about a 3v3 team fight. And so the Chain Lightning doesn't turn out to be that good. I mean, and it gives you 45% attack speed and then some health. And right here, this clip, Katarina and I both lagged really bad right there in game. Like, I had no idea what was going on. We got lucky that we even got Eve, honestly. I don't know how bad Katarina was lagging, but I was lagging really bad. But anyway, back to the items. So then there's a Lightbringer or whatever item, which is another attack speed item that if you hit them, it gives vision of them for 5 seconds, which honestly isn't that good, because if you look at the map right now, there's not a lot of Fog of War unless they are traveling across the map. But if you hit them, then they're probably not going to be traveling across the map. So one thing I don't know yet is if it gives you vision while they're in a bush. Because if it does, then that would be really good for some ranged carries, because they can hit them, and if they try and bush juke, you can keep hitting them, and that would actually make it worthwhile. One thing I've noticed about Dominion is that it is a completely different meta. With the built-in upgrades, like if you see the little blue thing, it's right above my Q and my W. It's like right in the middle. That says that there's reduced healing. You have a built-in 15% armor penetration, a built-in 5% magic penetration, faster XP, like it's constant XP rather. And I don't remember what the other things are. But basically, this makes it so, in my experience, people are a lot less tanky. Like, people die really, really quick, and plus, maybe it's just Dominion that's doing this, or maybe it's just because I'm playing in normals, there's no ranked Dominion yet. But people haven't been tanking up very much. And also, what I say about the meta changing so much is the fact that some characters are just so good in this and not very good in, Summoner's Rift, Twisted Treeline. Like in Twisted Treeline, Summoner's Rift, they have a pretty similar meta. Like, there's some characters that are just like really, really good in it and not good in the other, or vice versa or whatever. But in this, it's completely different in my opinion. Like Xin Zhao, in my opinion, is like tier 2, tier 3. He's good, but not that great. Part of it being that I'm not a good Xin Zhao player. Like, I love the character to death, but I'm not good with him at all. I think since I've got the commando skin, I act too much like a commando, and therefore I get a lot of deaths, and that's not really good. But in this game type, he is amazing. I don't know why. I think part of it is that Sanguine Blade is ridiculous on him. He just hits so much harder than other people. And I think the fact that you start at level 3 is good for him. Other characters that are just amazing on Dominion, in my opinion, are anyone with a global ult, which basically becomes a global ult in this. Like, kind of like in 3v3, Twisted Fate, Pantheon, their ults were nerfed, but then they still kind of become a global ult in the smaller maps. It's the same thing in Dominion. Basically, Pantheon can just travel across and backdoor and get capture points. It's really good. TF can do the same thing. Gangplank is also really good in this because one thing that Gangplank needs is gold. And if he gets a lot of gold, then he does a lot of damage. And in this game type, you get a lot of gold. Like, it's just amazing how much gold you get. Because they want to speed things up. They want to just throw as much gold as you can at you, and then just see how you do. another thing that's really, really good is his mobility for Gangplank. His raised morale allows him to get across the map really, really quick and get to those capture points. And but what's really, really nice about him is is his ultimate, because if they're capturing a point and you really need to just slow them down, if you put your ultimate on them, it cancels them from capturing the point. And because of that, and it's going to stay there for a while, so they won't be able to capture from that point. So either they get out of your ult and capture from a different point, which if you put it right, they shouldn't be able to do. But this allows you to possibly get down their Nexus health, maybe a few more ticks, or just get your teammates there in time to defend the point completely. And so that's really, really nice. And also, one of Gangplank's kind of, I wouldn't say weakness, but it's just kind of with any squishy killer, is they have a weakness to tankier characters. And I've noticed that in Dominion, people are a lot less tanky, or it seems, because it's more of this active playstyle, a run and gun kind of thing. So people aren't really building too defensively because the whole team can get to you easily. Like, the map is so small that even if you build tanky, like, you're not going to be able to get to your base in time because, okay, one thing I really don't like about Dominion is the tower aggro, just mechanics. To me, I think it's just a little messed up. It's still really buggy in my opinion, just the whole, like, clicking to cancel the tower from attacking you, your character deciding whether or not when to try and capture the thing, etc. But basically, this was a 4v5 Dominion gameplay. I've played a few rounds so far. Screw you, Alistar, for going AFK. But turns out we didn't actually need our 5th player. So this is a 4v5 win in Dominion with Xin Zhao. And I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe for more videos. I will see you winners later.